Man, I am unbelievably old now. Like, 5 years have passed. Have I realized that? Wow. I'm gonna be breaking my back on every crack I step on now. That's not really nice, but there's nothing I can do about it. Just time, just time, no time, haha. Okay, enough of the skip. So, today's the birthday of a very special thing. 5 years ago today, a guy named Penguin0 decided to upload a video on a random comment chain, and that decided to change my life forever, and now it's been 5 years, and I have a lot to say now. Oh man, okay, let's start off simple here. So, yes, it's been 5 years. The original video came out on August 16th, and it's August 16th still, just 5 years later. I'm pretty sure we all know the story by now. It all started when one person said one opinion on one video, and that sparked arguably what was the longest comment thread in history on YouTube, which I don't think that's actually true. Well, back then maybe, but now no, there's others that, that compete it, but I don't think anybody else comes really close to the as the iconicness of this thread, honestly. There's so many people showed up at the right time for it, and you can't really spark the magic it had on any other thing. It's like there's only so much losers in this world that came together for this. Like, there's only so much of that you can get in anything else. Obviously, whenever I talked about it, that did numbers. Haha. I have a relationship with this whole thread. Most of it was said not on this channel. A lot has not been said on this channel. But I have things to say. I've always wanted to put my collective thoughts on it, let it rest one final time. Not to say this is going to be the last time anybody should talk about it or I should talk about it, but it's just I would rather have one big video on a lot of things about this, because there's a lot I want to say. We all know how I originally discovered it. I think I said it in my video. I haven't seen that video I made in a long time, I'm gonna be honest.
Zeros. You can't
Oh, that's
have
not kind of
that
young
without
here.
the other.
I don't know if I've ever said it in the original video. I skimmed through it. I don't know if I actually said it or not. But I've told it to countless times to other people before. But the way I originally discovered it is I remember on that night, I was doing stuff on my laptop in my bedroom at that time, and I felt tired, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to take a nap. I woke up and I saw I had about like 200. I don't know if it was exactly 200, but I know it was a lot. It was 200 whole notifications. Maybe. It probably could have been more. And each of it was just comment after comment after comment talked about, dude, did you see that new Penguin0 video? Dude, you are awesome there. Dude, you're like my hero. And I was really taken aback by every single one of it. I remember that night very fondly, even if it was 5 years ago. I remember jumping around. I was actually a fan of Penguin0 back then. Not like a big one. But, I like to watch the little videos he made where he made fun of those like commercials, or they were a little funny.
There it is, a glory hole.
And I thought, this is great. This is amazing, actually. After that period, what exactly happened after that? I mean, there were some hints I've left around, like a Paper Mario argument Discord server. Wait, what? That existed? No, wait. Anime argument Discord server. Wait, what's going on here? So in my original video, I had multiple pinned comments there. I left multiple comments, and many of them have referenced a Discord link of some kind. But that's gonna be for later. That just keep that in mind. That's a sneak peek of what's to come. For now, what has happened after the whole thing? So this is going to be speaking for me personally, because I can't really say anything for anybody else. Like, I'm not going to tell you how Dave Matthew is doing. Nobody has heard anything from him at all. I know he still updates his playlist time to time, I think. So he's still out there. I just don't think. I think it'd be funny if he legitimately he genuinely does not know anything at all, or it could be the more realistic option that he's just ignoring it. So yeah, I can't really speak on the behalf of those guys, but after it was all said and done, it was kind of chill for a moment there. Some people came to some of my videos, I think, or community posts. I'm basing this all entirely off of memory here. It was Lunner1314, yeah, I'm still pronouncing his name that way, and Metal Mario were the ones I remember. I don't think anybody else had commented on any of my stuff. I just remember those two specifically. I remember Lunner commenting that my placement in the tier list was a... And we kind of just went back and forth with each other after that. I commented on his community post. He commented on my back. We became a little bit of friends. I guess we didn't talk to each other personally, but I mean, we were good enough. We had good interactions. I remember frequently seeing his Q&A post a lot. I don't know why. I was just curious what he had to say. Metal Mario sometimes showed up, and I don't really remember what he said. I remember there was one post I made. I think it was when the video got taken down. He made a post saying like, "Well, it's time to move on, everyone. We can't stick to one thing like this for long." Like, it was really motivational like that. I'm tearing up thinking about it. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing it right now. I just pulled it up. In all honesty, I am not sad that it is gone. It was given its spotlight, and now it is remembered for what it is. We didn't really need it other than returning to the music, but I will say this is still a hefty loss. Thank you, Metal Mario. I'm actually just finding this out now. Apparently, Metal Mario's account... Metal Mario renamed himself to Ryu a long time ago. I don't know when that was. But apparently he's changed accounts, and his name is A-Game now. And apparently the Ryu account is to his friend now? I don't really know. Well, yeah, I guess to respect his identity now, I will be referring to him as A-Game. A-Game doesn't really have anything bad towards the thread now. He just... He, like he said, it's just time to move on. And he may have some wisdom with that. I think, yeah, I don't think we should be focusing on it entirely. I don't think anybody should be, like, using it as a brand or something, but I don't know. Then after that, that was in December of 2020, I remember. And on to the next month, which was next year, Leonard had joined Discord. I remember being invited by, bless you, somebody sneezed. I remember being invited by somebody named Mr. Henry Waffle. I don't actually remember how we met. I think he just found me through a comment section or on Discord somehow. I really don't remember. And I was invited to a server called The Adventures of Lunner1314. I think it was called that in the beginning. I know that's what it's called now, but I don't remember it being in the beginning. Then somebody joined whose name was Lunner1314, and I didn't believe it for a second. I thought it was just somebody pulling my leg. I thought it was a troll. Eventually, he added his YouTube account to his Discord account, and would you know it, I was talking to the actual Lunner right there in real time. So then we had a couple conversations. I remember we had a lot of VCs. I heard his voice for the first time. It was not what I expected. I expected him to have a deep voice with an accent. He doesn't really have that. And that's about that. There's a lot more about that server, but that's its own territory, and I don't think I should be the one explaining all of it. I don't want to be like the voice of reason or the one that needed to speak up about it. It's just that with how I want this video to be, I don't really want that to be the main focus. But yeah, Leonard had a Discord server and I joined it. As for myself, I've been doing well, I think. I don't think I've been doing too much evil. I don't think I've robbed banks, killed people, and all that. I think I've rolled up to be a alright guy. I haven't done too much publicly, I know, but privately a lot. I'm active a lot more privately, which I never really wanted to be. I've always wanted to do things with this channel. It's just I'm kind of lazy, as you may know. There was a period of time I didn't really like the thread that much. This was back in it was kind of mid 2021, I think. I didn't really like it because I feel like that's all people knew me for. They knew me as the guy, the Jedi from the comment thread, and I didn't really like that. I thought it was just kind of downplaying what I actually wanted to be, what I wanted to do. If you go to any of my videos, the first comment is like, "You took down Oromaru like a champ!" But I never really addressed these publicly. I've always just kind of vented it privately because I didn't really want anybody to think I hated the thread. I'm grateful for everything it has given me. It's just I really didn't want it to be my identity. I wanted to be something else, which honestly I think I was just kind of whining. Like, if I wanted to be something else, then how about you upload something, be that change you want to see. I didn't get what his point was. Nowadays, I think, yeah, what I said was kind of me whining. I don't really have any hard feelings towards it. In fact, I've grown to like it more. Even now, I would still rather to be known as my own thing rather than that guy from the comment thread. But like, as a forever fun fact on my report card, yeah, that was me. Actually, I have heard contact with the actual Oromaru has been made. There is a person that's very active in the comment thread community who is named Maddie Songs. Maddie Songs? I don't really. You have to get used to my bad pronunciation, okay? Lunar. I'm not supposed to say that. She's very, very helpful in this community. The amount of things, like, she might legitimately be the biggest fan in this. Well, no, there's no contest. I don't think anybody comes close. She had found somebody with that name on Clash Royale, which it is known that Clash Royale was Oromaru's last video ever before he got, I don't think he got reported. I think he deleted his account. I don't really know. And I don't really know much about it, but I do know they have talked, and apparently Oromaru revealed, let's get the kids out of the room, this is gonna make them cry. Oromaru was actually a troll the whole time, and that none of the arguments he was making were serious. And when I learned this, it kind of ruined the magic of everything. It's like, what were we arguing for then? If it was just a troll, like, I was under the assumption this guy was serious. I was sad, depressed, could barely get out of my own bed. Couldn't even turn on my own light. Hurt my eyes too much. But then I realized, well, I mean, there's other people like Dave. He kind of makes up for it because that was fully serious. There's no way that was also a troll. So yeah, it does kind of bum me out that Oromaru was a troll. If this one is the actual Oromaru, which I don't think they're saying no to the biggest fan of the comment thread that this is in fact the Oromaru. It's just, oh man. Speaking about Oromaru though, I don't think I've ever mentioned it publicly, but I do actually remember what was on Oromaru's channel before it was deleted. I remember taking a look at it. Just randomly, you know, stalker-ish. What was on his channel was, I remember there were like 5 videos. One video was him playing Mario Maker 2, and he was on his couch. He was recording his TV screen. I remember there was like a Snapchat type little bar in the middle that had like a face palming emoji, and there were 4 people. It was an underground stage. There were 4 people bouncing on his head, and they couldn't get over the wall. They just couldn't get over the wall. That was it. That was the video. Another one was him playing piano, and his hands were shown. And get ready, everyone. He is black. So him saying the N-word in the thread, he can reclaim that. I don't remember what song he played. I just remember it was a piano video. That was it. And then the rest were literally just mobile game recordings. One of them was like a racing game, I think. I don't know. I remember there was one comment on one of the videos. The profile picture of the account was Luigi, that from the Mario Maker 2 render thing. And he said like, "Hey man, you're kind of mean on other videos. Could you learn to be nice?" I was like, oh, this guy had done it on other stuff? Ooh, this guy's the devil. In the Adventures of Lunar 1314, Oromaru's other comments were actually found on other videos. Of course, the comments aren't there anymore, and I'm really sad that we'll most likely never see them. But yeah, he was on other little video things. Another obscure Oromaru fact: I remember his profile picture being animated. Yeah, so here's a little YouTube fun fact. You can have a GIF as a profile picture, but it can only be animated through notifications. I don't know if it's still like this now, but I remember it was like this back then. I remember somebody had like a blinking Yoshi profile picture on when I was on my phone and checking my notifications on YouTube. Aramaru had a full this was the original scene his profile picture was from, and I remember it was actually fully animated like that when I went to my little YouTube notifications. That's just an obscure fun fact. If I'm actually misremembering and this is wrong, please tell me, but I remember it. You can have GIFs as your profile picture. Just, you can only see it animate through very odd needs. I don't think these really do much. Like, his profile picture was animated. That's, wow. I'm taken aback. Yeah, I don't think it really does much, but you know what? They're fun facts. Oh, actually, there's one thing I remember. I don't know if it was saved in the Google Doc where everything is. Me and Yoshi we were talking to each other. Okay, so this is actually a really huge Mandela effect by me. I remember it being Yoshi, but I went back and checked the actual Google Doc. It's a guy named Frankie Robertson that actually had a Yoshi profile picture that I thought was Yoshi for the longest time, but turns out it wasn't. So whenever I refer to this guy as Yoshi, I really mean Frankie Robinson. Just bear with me. And I remember there was like, what's your favorite Paper Mario game or something like that. And Yoshi gave me his Discord account, or it was either his or mine. I still have him I still have that account added to this day. We haven't talked to each other in literally 5 years. The only time we had talked to each other was when we added each other in Halloween. That's it. I actually still see that account come online sometimes, and I mean, he's always there. I guess I could talk to him if I wanted to. I also have him added on my Switch because he gave me that as well for some reason. I don't want to leak anything, but yeah, there's that. I think that's really all I have to say about stuff I know that I'm finally saying out to the public now, into the void. So that's fun. However, there's been a side to all of this that literally no one else has known. This has never been public information. This has not been, well, it's been out in the public before, but not really represented in a good way. There's a side of the comment thread community that nobody really seems to mention, that only a select few people remember. And I would say it was a very big thing. As a little sister community, side community, sub community, I don't know. It was a lot. And it was another reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place. I wanted to tell the history behind what was the Maggot and the Wasp. And the Wasp. I think this would hit and mention that. Okay. I just want to start out by saying the history of this project is very messy, and this is going to be entirely retelling from memory, and if I have to, other people as well who have worked on it. Currently, I have contact with 2 other people who have worked on this, and all the rest, it's either they're still around, but I just feel awkward talking to them again, because, like, this is something we made when we were, like, tweens, or they're just no longer around in general. A lot of the series is lost to time as we speak, so a lot of it is going to be visualized somehow, some way. Please bear with me, and everything that happened here is 100% true. I have nothing to gain by lying about this. Well, I mean, I guess it does seem like a pretty cool fan fiction. The Maggot and the Wasp. It was what was trying to be an anime adaptation of the Angriest Comment Thread. I know, ambitious. It was made in the same year, and not only that, but in the same month the video released. So specifically about a week or 2 after, the whole thing exploded. Already, this is setting off many red flags in your head, I would bet. This does not sound pleasing at all, but it makes a funny story, okay? Now, I don't actually remember finding it, but through old messages that I have with some of the old members, I got the backstory how I found it. Apparently, I was scrolling through the comments on either the Angriest Comment Thread video by Penguin Zero or the actual spectacular finale video itself. And in there was a comment by someone by the name of Mr. Time, who was advertising such a project. I remember at the time there were 2 Discord servers that I had joined. One was called like the Paper Mario Wars or something, and all that happened in that server is that I joined and someone was there. They said hello, and I said, hey, I'm from the argument. And then one guy said, oh wow, cool. And that was the only message. Those were the only messages there until the server randomly got deleted. And the other one was the Maggot and the Wasp, which, by the way, it wasn't actually called the Maggot and the Wasp yet. I'm calling it that, so, I mean, why not? But by this time, it did not have a name yet. So I joined, and I was introduced to a few people here. One was Mr. Time, the guy who founded the whole thing. Please keep this name in mind. He is going to appear a lot. Another one was a guy that had a pyrocynical profile picture that I don't actually remember the username of, but they're actually very talented at art, and I would love to see what they're doing now. Another guy was by the name of Sonic. I think their name was Sonic. I know the profile picture was definitely Sonic, but I remember this guy annoying the frick out of me. This guy was an animator and artist for the show, but this guy did anything but animate or art. Literally, this guy, I remember being so annoyed of this guy because all this guy would do was complain about animating, but they would barely animate themselves. Like, the only time I saw one of their animations was made of fucking flip a clip. Like, come on. If you hate animating so much, then just do something else. Nobody's telling you to animate, okay? If you don't want to animate, it's not for you. Okay, you can do something else, all right? You already have art down. You don't have to animate. This guy was most likely 12 when they said this, and I am bullying a child right now, but you know what? I need to take out my frustration somehow. It's been bottled up for a long time. And then there was a member by the name of V55 who was a writer.
Hello, my name is V55, and I was a writer on Maggot and the Wasp. So, my relationship with Maggot and the Wasp started when I was looking for Discord servers to join about the Angriest Comment Thread Penguin Z0 video. I really found that video to be super entertaining, so I went searching for Discord servers or communities I could talk about it, and I just thought that would be funny, so eventually I stumbled upon the Maggot and the Wasp Discord server. I don't really remember how, but it fell into my lap eventually.
Oh yeah, there's a crew member I forgot to mention. Jules Rules 448. He was a very good guy. He's a very good guy. I miss him. Unfortunately, I don't remember the rest of the crew. These were the ones that stuck out in my mind the most. There were about 2 other writers, I think. I don't know. When I first joined, apparently they had written a full first and second episode, and I think the third one was on the way. Already, tons of progress was being made, and then a VC was held showcasing everyone's work. I remember joining the VC, and I was having a fun time chatting with the people there. I remember there was a joke I said about including a subscribe like green screen in one of my videos. I'm gonna fulfill that promise. And then the reading of the episode eventually began. Episode 1 starts out with Lunner on her computer. And yes, Lunner was a girl in this version. Let me explain real quick. We didn't actually know what Lunner's gender was at the time. Most assumed it was a boy, but others didn't agree, saying it could be someone else. Eventually a poll is held, I think? Or everyone just agreed to it, I don't know, about Lunner being a girl, similar to Princess Peach, I guess. A design was actually made for Lunner, and this was the only design that was made for the show. It was drawn by the pyrocynical guy, and this is the only proof we have that it exists. Discord emojis. Thank God this was added as an emoji. I'll explain later why this is such a huge deal that this is a Discord emoji, but oh my God. Yeah, she originally looked like this, and that's all you need to know. It starts off with on her computer, and she comments something, and then Aramaru bursts into the room, and it's basically just a retelling of what happened, except everyone just keeps bursting into Lunner's room for some reason. I think I showed up, and then Metal Mario showed up, and he had like an actual violin. There was like a joke where like the violin was given to his family or something, and then it breaks, and he's like, oh no. Episode 2, I don't remember what episode 2 had at all. I just remember there was a scene where Metal Mario was burying his violin. That was it. After that, everyone had left the VC, and then V55 had messaged me after it. We then started to talk to each other a little bit about ourselves, but it was mostly about the episodes and all that.
And once I did join that server, I remember pretty quickly I became a writer. I began writing episodes and chapters, and I tried to add some interesting twists to Maggot and the Wasp, like having Dave lose an eye, or having Metal Mario bury his violin, and I cared a lot for continuity for these things. I was like, hey guys, I want this to be this way. I want us all to have this continuous story. So it should be acknowledged in future chapters that Metal Mario doesn't have his violin because he buried it, and Dave is missing an eye. Those are details that should be acknowledged.
That was the first day in the Maggot and the Wasp. Very, very unchaotic, as I would say. Eventually, the show would progress, but more and more people kept joining. I remember specifically there were way too many people joining and way too many people getting roles, but them not actually doing any work. I remember we had lots of writers, barely any voice actors, but lots of writers, and I think a few artists. Apparently, Chapter 3 was written by prequel guy, also known as Waffle Man. I completely forgot. Waffle Man was also on the team. He was a writer. And I think Episode 3 was saved. What I'll read might be Episode 3, but I don't know. Apparently, Episode 3 started with Dave writing a poem. Then Metal Mario showed him a letter that contained Oromaru challenging them to a fight. Dave and the gang decide to go, but Luna refuses. Dave recites the poem toward Oromaru, who is indeed there. Oromaru claims he didn't listen to the poem. Oromaru attacks Metal Mario, who fights back. He tries to use his phone, but remembers it's broken. Oromaru admits he had not played any Paper Mario game except Color Splash. Much to the gang's surprise, Dave questions why Oromaru joined the fight in the first place, and Oromaru ignores them, saying, "Screw you idiots, this is done." Oromaru beat Metal Mario up, but Metal Mario picked up Oromaru and was going to throw him. But Oromaru said he wasn't going to die in a comet war like his parents. But Metal Mario slipped and fell down the sewer gutter with Oromaru. Which, yeah, I forgot to mention, Metal Mario's parents were dead. Just because, I mean, I guess it's, yeah. Those were about the only episodes that had ever been written for the series. I know. Very, very surprising. What I read and told you was the only episodes that had been written for months. Oh boy. Everything else is not about the show anymore. Not about the anime. It's about this entire freaking team now. Again, this is very, very loose, and I'm reciting this all from memory because this is all gone now. I'll explain why it's all gone, but... Alright. Eventually, a big player would join the server, and his name was... And for everyone's favorite character, the one everybody cheers whenever they hear the comment thread. Get ready, women, get ready. Oh, you're not gonna like it when he appears, cause you will scream. Yeah. It's everybody's favorite commenter, the Blue Bomber 875. If you don't recognize who this was, it's because he commented very late. It was only one comment he made. He commented very late in the thread and was not featured in the Penguin Zero video. But me and him met, which I'll explain later, and are good friends now.
I remembered the first time I laid my eyes upon, what are the kids call it, the Angriest Comment Thread on YouTube. When I witnessed that for the very first time, I literally couldn't even believe what was being beamed my retinas at that very singular moment. Because I had never seen, in all of my years on YouTube, I've never seen such an angry comment thread, and to be just faced with what might go down in history as the angriest comment thread on YouTube, like, that's just genuinely, like, I don't think my life will ever be that important again for what I did. When I saw Aramaru ruthlessly harassing that poor boy, that poor paper boy, Lunar1314, I knew who would I be if I just let that happen, if I just let people like that exist in the world and just play by their own rules. Who would I be if I just stood by idly, if I just scrolled past it like it was nothing, like I didn't even care? When I wrote out that comment, it went through several drafts, actually, because I wanted to make sure that I really taught him a lesson and I really put him into his place, you know, because I have a very, very profound sense of justice and morality in my mind, and it's just sort of a complex where I can't let just evil like that just go unpunished, you know? So I read his comment, and it was something like, you know, there's something like, you must be 9 or something if you even like this song. So I was like, oh yeah, you honestly sound like a 9-year-old, because, like, even though he was calling Lunar a 9-year-old, in my eyes, Aramaru 1837, he seemed like the real 9-year-old, just because of his, like, maturity level, you know? It just seemed like little kids, like, bully each other like that, you know? Honestly, why I think, like, the whole thing is, like, kind of really messed up from just like a humanity standpoint is, like, if you actually play the game Paper Mario Sticker Star on the Nintendo 3DS, like, yeah, it's got its issues, but, like, it's not, like, that bad, you know? So, like, what gives you the right to just, like, call people names, like, what was it, My Little Maggot? Like, to this day, that just makes me genuinely uncomfortable. Like, I don't know, it's like a really ick trigger word for me. I just don't like, I can't even say it out loud again, it's just too much. But where, like, I get most of my memories for is after somebody told me, like, what did he say? He's like, congrats on being a small part of history. And I'm like, a part of history? I haven't even, like, graduated yet, you know? Like, I only have a couple... What do you mean small part of history? Because... So I search it up, probably, like, Penguin Z0, like, the Angriest Comment Thread. It was a really interesting and special experience.
And once he joined, he started talking to Mr. Time. I remember Mr. Time and...
Everyone's favorite character, the one everybody cheers whenever they hear the comment thread. Get ready, get ready. All you're not gonna like it when he appears, because you will scream. It's everybody's favorite commenter.
The Blue Bomber had an argument with each other. At the time, I had no idea who
Everyone's favorite character, the one everybody cheers whenever they hear the
Blue was. I didn't even know he was in the argument, honestly. I joined in and I started breaking up the fight. I don't exactly remember what they were talking about, but I remember it was something dumb that Mr. Time was doing with the anime project. Actually, no, I remember. They were arguing about, because at the time, Mr. Time had requested everyone to remove any Nintendo references in the anime because, to quote him, Netflix could see the show and they could have a higher budget for everyone if they pitched the show to Netflix. And we were forced to rename Metal Mario to Metal Boy. Metal Boy. Not even like Metal Marvin or something. Metal Boy. So yeah, from this point forward, every single Nintendo reference is gone now. Everything that made this charming and unique, it's gone now. Because of a potential Netflix deal That never happens! Never happens! I don't know what Mr. Time was thinking. Well, we might know what they were thinking, because, it's more than likely Mr. Time was a child when they were making this, so, you know, they had their head in the clouds. But, oh my god. Yeah, I think that's what Mr. Time and for everyone were arguing about. Eventually, it settled out, and I think Blue Bomb became a member of the team eventually. I know he was there as like just a regular member, but I think he helped out a little bit with the series. Yeah, so as you can see, Mr. Time was not the most professional. Then after this, a few days later, I remember, you remember all those writers we had? Well, Mr. Time decided all of their work is going to be scrapped, and that they themselves, Mr. Time, was going to be the sole writer of the anime. Reminder, we had about 2 episodes written already. One is entirely by V55, and the other was a collaboration between multiple people, I think. And all of that is now going... Oh yeah, in episode 3, by the way. And now that all is going to waste because Mr. Time, for some reason, feels like his Netflix show idea needs to be written all by himself.
And I was very passionate about that idea of continuity, but unfortunately, Mr. Time, the person who was heading the entire project, wasn't so fond of that, and he also wasn't really that fond of my writing in general, which he was just generally not that great at running the project in the first place, but I do remember butting heads with the guy a lot.
I remember this upset many people at the time. Everybody was throwing a fit about it. I remember talking to V55 about it, and they were very upset that they were replaced. People were like unsure if they were even going to be credited in the final cut because, I mean, all their work just basically got trashed. And apparently he made a lie that I don't know what the lie was, but apparently he lied to every single writer. Oh, okay, never mind. The lie was that multiple people were going to be doing episodes. Like, if you written one episode, you could do multiple. And all of that got turned down because, I don't know, he just wanted to be the sole writer. Like I said, it made a lot of people upset, but at the same time, we did have a lot of writers. But at the same time, that didn't mean everybody else had to be axed out. Like, the ones that had already written episodes, why not just keep them? And by this time, this was in the span of a few days. All of this is happening in the span of a few days. Frick. So, a bit passed, and we were starting to realize we basically had no animators. Oh, man. Sure, we had Sonic, but, like, Sonic's art style, it basically, like, it looked like they had used the circle tool in MS Paint. That's what it looked like. No offense to Sonic, if Sonic's still out there watching this, I guess. I'm sure you're very good at art now. It's just back then, I don't think you were up for the anime look. Of course, there was one hero, one unsung angel. His name was Mine the Assassin, who was another member at the time. I think he was a voice actor. I don't know. The guy was Russian, but not really Russian. He was like an American living in Russia, I think. I remember hearing his voice. It was American. And he had suggested the idea to pay Fiverr artists to animate it for us. Okay, Fiverr already. It really depends on the service. Personally, I had commissioned an Undertale artist before, and that was absolutely legendary. But Fiverr artists to commission an entire anime series? With what money we had? I think he had like, I don't know, 15 rupees. That's not gonna pay for anything. That's gonna pay like one eyeball of animation. So, yeah, we were eventually realizing, oh, we kinda don't have anything. But fear not, as we weren't going to focus on this problem and how to solve it for long, as a group emerged from the shadows. You like what I did? Because the group is called The Shadows, and they emerged from the shadows. You like that? So, okay, who is The Shadows? The Shadows, basically in layman terms, is a role-playing group that role-playing group that everyone decided to focus on because I meant not working on the anime. I remember, okay, not to toot my own horn or anything, or like I'm the voice of reason, but I remember being annoyed at everyone being focused on the shadows and not on the actual thing. But I mean, at the same time, they were entertaining. The shadows were basically like an extremely like edgy role-playing group that like they're the type to unironically wear like anonymous mask and lower pitch their voice. That's the type of edgy we're talking about. Yes, everyone started focusing on it, and the leader of the group is somebody named Dr. Evil. No, not that Dr. Evil. This guy. This guy's not even named Dr. Evil either, but yeah, Dr. Evil didn't have a mini-me, but I mean, I remember Dr. Evil was weird. I don't really know. I think it got revealed who Dr. Evil was, but that was like years after, and I don't even know if it's true, so I'm just gonna leave it up to their interpretations. I remember Dr. Evil made a video on me. It was called like a message to Brooklyn or something, and the description was like 9 a.m. EST. No way, I can search this up actually. Yeah, it was called My Message for Brooklyn at 7:30 p.m. EST. And I remember the video was like threatening me or something as like Ralph Say ASMR 2 played in the background. Like, it was hilarious. And please, Dr. Evil, if you're still out there, the guy who's Dr. Evil, and you still have this video, genuinely, I am willing to pay for it. I want this to be recovered. I'll give you like a $20 Steam gift card or something. Just please, I would love to see this video re-uploaded. The URL is still there and everything, but as you can guess, it's not archived at all. So then, yeah, Dr. Evil existed. And somebody on the team was secretly working for the Shadows. I mentioned this because then the original server, you know, the one where it all started, it got nuked. I think we're going a little too fast. Let's give a little bit of context. There was another member I did not mention. His name was... I'm just gonna call him Dark. Dark, honestly, don't really remember what he did, besides mess with the Shadows a lot. He had a lot of contact with the Shadows, I guess, and I don't know. I think he had a little bit of foreshadowing with this. Just know Dark is gonna come up much later soon, maybe. Yeah, the first Maggot and the Wasp server had gotten nuked. Unfortunately, it just happened one day, and it was by Dr. Evil himself, because Dr. Evil and Mr. Time for some reason had an alliance together. Somehow, some way. It's true. Mr. Time had given Dr. Evil admin for whatever reasons, honestly. I don't remember what Dr. Evil did in the first place, but I know he was speaking that roleplay-anese. Maybe he was just convincing with his words or something, but yeah, as soon as he's given admin, guess what? Entire server got nuked. Who would have known? So yeah, we were all very demotivated, but then we moved to the next server. And the next server, everyone rooted Mr. Time to be replaced. Mr. Time basically, yeah, it was like that scene in Toy Story 3 where Lotso was getting overthrown. I eventually became the new owner of Maggot and the Wasp, and I started setting everything up again. I don't really remember much of what happened here. I remember most of the servers still actually exist to some extent. Yeah, I don't really remember much of what happened. I know for sure we got more voice actors, but that was basically it. Oh yeah, and I think in the middle of the whole thing, we decided it wasn't going to be an anime anymore. It was actually going to be a movie. I think that was my decision to make. I don't know, man. I'm trying to remember here. On second thought, I don't think it was mine. Really, I think it was everybody who collectively agreed on it. And even then, I don't think I was the one that started the idea. I'm giving myself too much credit. I feel very egotistical. Just somewhere in the middle, it got turned into a movie, I guess, because that was way easier to make. Eventually, the other server got nuked again, but this time we knew who did it. I remember coming back from celebrating a birthday party, and I saw the entire server nuked, and everyone was like, dude, why were you working for the Shadows? I was like, I'm not having any of this. I was so sad. I was crying. Everybody thought I was a traitor for some reason, and that I nuked my own server for some reason. And everyone was just so upset at me for working with the Shadows. This was a rumor spread by Mine the Assassin. For some, I don't know what the frick I did to him. I don't know what I did to him to deserve that. Which eventually later on, me and Mine the Assassin did talk to each other, and I remember I DM'd him, and then I had to do something real quick. I came back, and he responded to me, but he said, "Oh, looks like he didn't reply. I guess we'll just forever be enemies." And then he blocked me. He said that like 30 seconds after his original message responding to me. Like, what the frick? I liked mine too. I don't know why he like got like this all of a sudden. I sincerely doubt he's like this now, honestly, but like back then I don't even know what the frick I did. But the guy who actually destroyed the server, oh hey, it's that guy. I still can't say your name. Basically Dark was a very edgy, weird person. Yeah. Dark destroyed the server, and it was eventually revealed that Dark was the one that actually like was part of the shadows. And very confusing. Oh, okay, all right. New server, another new server. Let's do this. So then, Council of the Intellectuals got. Sounds so stupid. Council of the Intellectuals. Like, this is so serious for what?
Are you dare mentioning the Council of Intellectuals name?
Oh, fuck! I forgot. This was a secret server that I was not supposed to mention.
It's okay, man. We make mistakes. You can mention it just this one time. I was just kidding.
Okay. This server was made to discuss all the drama that was happening. Yeah. Yeah, the Council of Intellectuals is that's just... Man. This server is very notable because I have the role propaganda and I'm listed under official propaganda resources. I don't think any other place, time, and event has ever actually made me that. Besides this. So yeah, at the beginning of this was before the second server had gotten nuked. When the Council of Intellectuals was made. It was made by a crew member who was named Sir Security, or... Why did everybody have fricked up names back then? There's strangely a common theme of fricked up names. Fun fact, this is actually the same guy that's in the tribute to the Paper Mario anime Discord server. Cool. Apparently, this is how it actually was written out in the freaking thing. Dr. Evil challenged Waffle Man and me to a battle. Waffle Man refused and the battle didn't commence. However, Dr. Evil and Dark started attacking Waffle Man. Waffle Man had a short argument with Dr. Evil, and Dr. Evil and Dark's behavior catches the attention of some of the more important members of the server, and Dr. Evil is close to being banned. Dr. Evil is the ultimate admin along with Mine the Assassin, however he is banned by Mr. Time. Soon he returns with a new account because admin again, totally changing the server. He deletes. Okay, so that's how it was nuked. Trust me, I'm relearning about this as I am teaching it to you guys. So, Dr. Evil was an account that joined the server and then became admin somehow and then got banned before he came back. Man. So he deleted everything and changed his name, the name and avatar. A new server for making the anime is created, but Dr. Evil is in it too. And, that's how Council of the Intellectuals was made, to discuss this stuff so we can just have our own thing. This is such a confusing timeline, I know. Eventually, something called Maggot Archives Wiki got made. Let's just take a look at this. Let's derail from the very unorganized timeline. Let's take a look at this. So this is a Wayback Machine thing, because the original got taken down. This wiki got taken down. I'm not completely sure who it was. I think I know, but I don't really want to say in case it's a misinfo. But it basically got taken down for not being very accurate in its information, and a better one was made, but I think that one was also taken down for whatever reason. I think it was because it was made on fandom and they didn't want a fandom wiki, which is, yeah, I agree. Luckily, everything in this wiki was archived, so we can see what was going on here. Luckily, a lot of this stuff contains stuff related to the Maggot and the Wasp. Here, let's go to Mr. Time's page. Mr. Time participates in the second big comet war. I don't know what that is. And creates a Discord server for making an anime show about the original argument. Okay, true. Mr. Time is criticized by many, mainly Waffleman and Jules Rules, for being a terrible admin and acting wrong. Time joins the second Poppy comment war. He writes some cringe-worthy things about how people in the comment section should join him or be destroyed, and who in the argument is a villain and who a hero. He plans on teaming up with Stone to take down Poppy and look like a hero. Waffleman decides to enter the war to stop Mr. Time's cringe and end the argument. He tries to peacefully negotiate with Poppy and tells Slipper Nippers to delete his comments. This is stupid. I'm not reading this anymore. You're right. Jules Rules' page. Jules Rules 448 joins Mr. Time's original Discord server as one of the most active members. He and Waffleman often criticize Mr. Time. I wonder where that came from. After Dr. Evil massacres massacres Exile! Jules creates a new one where neither Mr. Time nor Dr. Evil are in power, and he is the owner. I guess this also actually plays into the second server. I think Jules was the one who made the second server. It just eventually got passed on to me. Oh yeah, it says it right here. Soon after, Jules makes Brooklyn Green the new owner, and he becomes the co-owner. Later, Brooklyn Green enters the Discord server for the anime based on the argument and starts thinking on the show. During the Shadow War, Green becomes the owner of the newfound Discord server after Dr. Evil massacres the original and joins the Council of Intellectuals as the distributor of propaganda. In the final battle of the war in the Shadow's lair, they argue with Dr. Evil and Jules, Waffleman and Mind supporting them. Soon after, Dr. Evil is overthrown by Void and defeated. What the frick is going on? Never mind, I don't understand any of this. This line about the freaking Dr. Evil being overthrown by Void, they really like this line. They really like it. I'm afraid that's really it for the Maggot and the Wasp on the Maggot Archive wiki. Unless you want me to read the page of Gay Maffy. You know, yeah, actually, I want to read the page of Gay Maffy. Alright, enough detour from the Maggot Archive wiki. So, eventually, yeah, the second server got nuked as well. I don't think any progress was really done after the nuke of the first one, because the first one had really everything to offer, and the second one, it was like kind of trying to rebuild what was had. Yeah, not much was really done. Apparently, the scope of the project had gone to a full series, to a movie, to potentially something else, I don't know. Eventually, a third and final server was made. This one would be the final server, and it is still up to this day. I'm not sure if I want to make the invite public. I would love for a public archive of it to exist, but I don't really want... I don't know if it'd be like vandalizing like a historic like place or anything, but I mean, if it's cool, then maybe, but... This is where the project really started to kick up again. Well, I guess after we talk about the former Shadow Layer. The former Shadow Layer is the Shadow server. This is where, like, people fought with Dr. Evil. This is what that freaking Maggot Wiki thing was always talking about. It was, yet another role-playing thing. There was, like, a big, epic anime fight with everyone involved. This guy thought... Waffleman thought this message was so good he did it multiple times. My fan favorite message here is was when someone saw this message and went, "Do it again. I dare you. I dare you."
The war with the notorious troll Dr. Evil and his organization of alt accounts known as the Shadows has ended. Dr. Evil announced in the Shadow Slayer Discord server that decided to end it and move on.
Wait, hold on. I can't play this video without showing you his other videos he's done on freaking Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil sucks cocks, wow, 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 sucks mess pussy LMAO. Dr. Evil sucks mess pussy LMAO. Dr. Evil sucks mess pussy LMAO.
I think this was the time when Dark got exposed as well for working with the Shadows, and I got threatened that my IP will be leaked. Still waiting on that, by the way. Okay, apparently, this is the list of all the Shadows that were involved. I don't remember who any of these were. If you happen to remember one of these names and you were one of them, hello. Apparently, there was a date where they were going to come back, October 31st, 2020. Any day now. Man, we were so serious back then. Can't wait for you losing like a B word just like Dr. Evil? Jeez. The time of spooks is near. Let you sing a cheer for a victory that you hold so near. But soon you'll be shedding tears. Holy frick, that's cold. But yeah, the server eventually got nuked as well. A lot of it is lost. Alright. On to the final chapter. So this server is when it finally started to get done again. We started up the project again, and it was a little cozy space. It was a nice little time, I would say. A new voice actor had joined that was invited by Russia. By the way, Russia was another Legacy member. I don't exactly remember what Russia did, but he introduced someone very important. Somebody by the name of Chucky718 had joined, and now, okay, maybe he's not entirely important, but I still talk to him to this day, and if it weren't for Russia, we literally would have never met, so thank you, man. After Chucky was invited, like a week after, Russia permanently went offline, and I think that's, like, funny. That's, like, as one final send-off, I give you him. But, yeah, Chucky was invited to voice in the project, and he eventually became the voice of Aramaru. Other people, such as Eli Gabarat, became the voice of Dave. V55 became the voice of Lunner, and that was the cast so far in episode 1. The script was being written, and the script is actually still intact to this day. But before we got to the script, we realized a big problem. There is no way we were going to make an anime. We had lost so many members and so much lost motivation from having to restart the project multiple times. We just didn't have the patience to make a full anime. It wasn't feasible. It just wasn't. There's no way us freaking tweens back in 2020 were ever going to make something like this. So yeah, we stripped it down. I think we were agreed that we were gonna like all have a part in it. It was gonna like a cartoony art style or something. It was gonna be drawn somehow. I think I agreed to do most of the work. I don't know. I'm glad I didn't go through with it because oh my god, if I could imagine my art skills in 2020 trying to make a full series. This is what my drawings look like in Toothpaste Boys 1, okay? That is not up to quality. But we got a bare bones plot down. The plot involved Lunner going to a festival, and for some reason the festival was doing a contest on write your favorite Paper Mario song and you'll win a prize. So Lunner wrote down Spectacular Finale from Paper Mario Sticker Star. Aramaru is the one who was working the little booth stand or whatever. Aramaru sees it, gets angry, then Dave appears, and they both argue. Then it ends. Very, very basic.
Oh.
Not as ambitious as we had it before, but you know, it worked. We quite literally could not care anymore. We just wanted to get this finally done. There were a few creative differences. I don't know why this was added. I think initially there was some conflict about people wanting to swear in it. I don't think some people wanted to swear. So the compromise we made was this frog that would ribbit every time someone had to swear. And Aramaru did a whole joke where he was like, "What? I can't swear? Man, I sound like an idiot." Honestly, it was really awkward, and I think it was like not good at all. I remember V55 V55 was still on the team by this point. V55 was very upset by this change. I mean, I could see why. It's a very stupid joke.
Brooklyn Green, now a very close friend of mine, we were talking about the project a lot with each other in the early days, and eventually I realized that I sort of felt like the project was too small scale. We were only talking about mainly just the characters that were in the Penguin Z0 video, and I just thought that was boring. I wanted to expand. I wanted it to be like, oh, how about we have everyone in the argument? How about we have, like, Waterman and, like, the Red Pikmin Master and people like that? And so I put a lot of emphasis on that happening. And so, and Brooklyn disagreed with that because he thought, oh, we're getting too large scale. Or I don't know if he fully disagreed with it at the time. He was just skeptical. He said it like it's a maybe. But I remember we had a real creative difference with that. And eventually I drifted away from Maggot and the Wasp as a project. I went to other things, I went to other servers. Eventually, the creative differences got to be a little frustrating. I felt a little boxed in by the whole project. I felt like I didn't really have enough creative control as a writer. So I eventually sort of just drifted away. I don't think I ever officially quit. It was just like, I lost interest, and then the project died, and it was a whole disaster.
Hold your tongue there, V. Don't speak so soon. But alas, the script was finished. Everyone started recording it. We're almost done with it. We just need to animate it. Oh, right. Jules was the man with the plan. He had mostly written everything. There's a few people contributed to the script. He was the one that got everybody's lines. He did all of that for what? Nothing? No. Jules had a dream. He had a dream that one day the Maggot and the Wasp will walk again. He's not gonna give up because of some group. He did all of this. He's the one who mostly wrote the script. He's the one that gathered everybody to record their lines. He was that one. The GOAT of the Maggot and the Wasp. Unironically, he was. He actually carried a lot. He should have been owner, not me. Well, I made him co-owner, but, he poured blood, sweat, and tears into this. He was willing, for episode 2, he was going to do like a live action segment with himself, introducing something, but that's how much he was willing. He was going to put himself on the line for this. And so, he grinded. He grinded. He grinded and grinded. And could you believe it? He actually made it. After months where everybody gave up hope, he made The Maggot and the Wasp, episode 1. After being in development heck for nearly 6 months, it's here. The Maggot and the Wasp was finally made. What you're about to see is footage from The Maggot and the Wasp, episode 1. Get ready. The culmination of months' work from team to team, server to server, roleplay group to roleplay group.
Lunar goes to the festival because they heard about a prize. The prize was a massive Luigi plush and some money, and a person would earn it by saying their favorite Paper Mario song, and if the person that had standing there agreed with the choice,
this was originally going to be a high production anime.
Walks into a huge building and meets a man within the building. The man asks Lunar what their favorite Paper Mario song was.
Okay, I will admit, it's charming. It's charming and I dig this video style. But this is absolutely hilarious from the original scope we had. This is what we ended up with? You can tell we were so sick of it and just wanted it to be real. This was acceptable. It was then uploaded onto Jules' YouTube channel, and that was how it was viewed for the longest time. Everybody kind of celebrated. Everybody kind of forgot about it after a week. Yeah, that was the culmination of this whole project. But that's not even the last bit of drama that had to happen. Well, I guess it's not really drama, but Jules' channel randomly got deleted. He didn't delete it himself, just I guess he got mass reported or something. And that made the only upload of the Maggot and the Wasp gone and lost to time. Oh, wait, didn't we just saw a clip of it? Yes, it did eventually get found again because I found out in a Discord server, Jules had actually posted a Google Drive link re-uploading it, and that's how we were able to get it. But for years, this video was lost. We thought it would never be seen again, and we were so sad that those months of effort gone. Due to what? Reports? Eventually, Jules Rules would go offline forever. He would show up occasionally time to time, but I haven't spoken to him in years. I think I had found an account that he has now, but honestly I'm way too awkward to contact it. Well, that was it. That was The Maggot and the Wasp. What a confusing clusterfuck of history. Well, what happened to everyone after this? Well, as I said, I still talk to V55 and Blue Bomber. Everybody else has seemingly disappeared or moved on in some fashion. I have not spoken to many members of the Maggot and the Wasp in a while, but the one I would love to speak to the most is Mr. Time. If he's somewhere out there, please, I am begging. I would love to know how you're doing now. For this video, I really wanted everyone that was originally part of the Maggot and the Wasp to come back and finally make a finished product, but as time was passing, I realized not only if I managed to do it would it be an extremely tight deadline, but also just in general the idea was really ambitious. Getting everyone, there are still a lot of people who are originally involved in this that are still around, but to even contact them is one thing, and to see if they remember this is another, and if they're even willing to do it is another thing. It's basically a 1 in a million chance 3 different times. I do really want to make an actual Maggot and the Wasp with everyone again. Just not a full series, just one final thing. Will the idea ever happen? Most likely not. In 2025, V55 actually is taking the effort to make their own version of the Maggot and the Wasp. It's on Wattpad right now, and it's not a full series, it's a written book, but if you ever want to see what a writer's continuation of the Maggot and the Wasp is, well, there's that.
One more thing before I end this, little snippet of whatever this is. I have a fanfic on Wattpad called Maggot and the Wasp Redux, which is basically my vision of the what Maggot and the Wasp would be if I had full control over it. So it's like it has everybody in the argument. It pays homage to both the original argument and the original Maggot and the Wasp, and it even does some new things and takes some new routes, like having Aramaru as the protagonist. He's a bit more sympathetic in my fanfic than he is otherwise. So I would appreciate if anyone watching this would give that a read and give me feedback on it. And with that, I don't really remember much else from the Maggot and the Wasp days. I'm sorry. Um, and I guess I'll give it back to Brooklyn now.
A lot of links that are websites that I've mentioned will be posted down below in the description, so you will be able to see a lot of these. V55's continuation is pretty much the only official, semi-official continuation that there is. I doubt there will ever be a big group effort like this again. It was honestly a miracle it even happened. It was a miracle it didn't even die in the first few days, because it was a Discord server posted on a YouTube video. That's just bound. That's bound to die. And yeah, we should have seen the red flags, because this pretty much was every single bad community project ever. First off, it's based off of something that was popular for like a week. After they get everybody, it would have died. It would have gone the development heck. People would have lost motivation. It would have taken forever to come out, and that's pretty much what happened. This is real weird to say, but you remember that Minecraft community movie? When I saw that was being made, I got kind of like flashbacks to the Maggot and the Wasp, and it's like, sure. Once the hype dies down and your 560 billion members are there, I'll see what happens with it. That sounds really narcissistic and snarky to say, I'm sorry. I still hold a lot of it to my heart. I still reference it to this day. One joke me and Blue Bomber have, we like to reference Mr. Time a lot, because it's just, he's an unintentionally hilarious person. There is some good that has come out of the Maggot and the Wasp, though. I do actually use it in my daily work stuff, where my motto for my work is, don't do what the Maggot and the Wasp did. I like to keep my work simple, not just because despite this one anime I worked on, I just like making simple stuff in general. It's just, never ever make something of the scope of the Maggot and the Wasp again, because clearly it did not work out at all. Well, now we're here. I touched on the argument. I badly, very poorly explained the Maggot and the Wasp. Now I guess it's time for my final thoughts and everything. Like I said before, I've hinted at it in this video. I used to not like the argument, but that was during a very short period in mid-2021. Now, I look back on it with very, very good memories. Because I have to be honest, if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have a lot that I have now. That video genuinely made me meet some people that I still talk to this day. It's gained me some friends that I would say are pretty much unbreakable bonds. Cheesy, I know, but it's true. It's also the reason why I have a community today. It might not be the most biggest community. It might not be the most public community, but it's one that I like. I've always preferred smaller communities because it makes me feel like I have a more personal connection to who is a fan of me, which I've always wanted, and also smaller communities are just more fun to interact with. And I was given just that from this one video. I've always dreamed of making something that people would appreciate, and while I think I haven't done something truly impactful yet, I think my comments sparking people to come find me is a little motivational. It makes me want to keep creating. It makes me want to do more, which I do want to do eventually, if I'm not lazy. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm extremely grateful for this video. I'm extremely grateful for Penguin Zero to even put me in the video, because he might as well couldn't have, but you know what? I got called a Jedi. That's honorable. I would love to thank him personally for what he's done, because I really do want him to know that he has changed my life forever. I have actually donated to him before. I don't think he recognized me, but you know what? I didn't really need him to say my name. I just wanted to show that I was thankful for what he did.
Thanks, Brooklyn.
Sure, I might not watch him all the time now. I'm not really into drama YouTube channels. I mostly just look up the situations myself, honestly. I feel like that's easier than just watching an 11-minute video about it. But I honestly deeply respect Penguin Zero. And I guess that goes to every other guy that was in the comment thread. I guess RMR too, to some degree. Just everyone, you did a good job arguing. We had some fun on the battleground about a Paper Mario game not many of us like. Honestly, I've always kind of liked Sticker Star. I mean, it's not the best game ever. I have a lot of issues with it. The normal enemy battles are literally the most useless thing in a video game ever, because, like, why would you fight them? They get you coins, sure, but they waste stickers that are, like, kind of rare to find, and they're gonna cost more than the coins you earn in a battle. So it's like, why? Why would you even fight them? That's just me, though. I've always liked the OST of it. Of course, it doesn't compare to the other OSTs, but you know what? It has a charm of its own. I guess that's it for me. Happy 5th birthday, Angriest Comment Thread on YouTube. See ya until the 10th anniversary, I guess. And you really thought I was not gonna end it with a redone tier list? Oh, you fool. Oh, you thought I was gonna end it right there. Oh, it was all heartwarming. Oh, thank you, everybody. No! This is where the boys become men. Where the men become warriors. Where the warriors become Vikings. Those two might be the same exact thing. But you know what? That's besides the point. It's time! It's time to finally settle what, who, where, why is the best argument, comment, anime, Maggot, Wasp thing ever. Alright. Now, personally, I put RMR in a D tier last time. And I think that was funny. I think that was kind of, you know, that was a little bit expected. I'm gonna put him in C tier this time. I'm going to put. What is this? Let me think here. I'm going to put. I'm gonna redo my mistake. I'm gonna put D. I'm gonna put Dave in D tier, not because there's any hate or anything, but because the D tier is green in a D and Dave is green in a D. You can really tell I'm really thinking about each placement here. I've thought about this long and hard for the last 5 years. I'm gonna put Mr. Hater in D as well. You can't separate them; they need to be together. Lunner, he's gonna be put in B, but like imagine not. It's not because it's like he's bad or anything. Just like imagine these are like apartments, right? So they all have access to each other. It's just Lunner has to go through armor sometimes, and it makes it hard to visit Dave and Hater. So it's just, you know, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird how that goes, but I'm gonna put A game in. He seems he wants to be distant from everyone, so he's gonna be put in A tier. He orders DoorDash all the time, and people come to his door. He doesn't ever leave his house, so he's gonna stay there for a while. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna add a new guy. I'm gonna add a new guy to this. The new guy will be this guy I found in a random comment section. Honestly, they're awesome. They're just epic. S. Where am I? Yo, you wanna know where I'm at? You wanna know where I'm at? SS tier, baby.
Soon after Dr. Evil is dethroned by Void and defeated. Well, I don't remember that part. I don't know. I never joined the Discord server.